All right. Good evening. So we took last week off. So it's been 2 weeks since I sat down in front of the camera to talk to you guys. Um, wow, wow. The MAGABomber situation, guys. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to think about it. That's the conservatives I know, and that's a lot. This isn't a thing. Uh, the guy they arrested in Florida with the shiny new van and covered in shiny new stickers. How is that not suspicious? I don't mean how is he not a suspicious person. He's clearly suspicious. I mean, the guy's an ethno supremacist, Native American ethno supremacist, and a convicted felon. They keep saying he's a registered Republican. I'm like, felons can't register to vote. That's funny. And apparently there's some evidence that he was registered Democrat for a long time and switched party allegiances right before the 2016 election. Okay, maybe. But that van, I mean, before I saw the van, before I saw the van, I didn't, guys. I hate to put on a tinfoil hat. I really do. Um, I like to read conspiracy theories sometimes because they're entertaining, but I'm just not a lizard people type of dude. Now, before I get too far down the road, um, speaking of down the road, I just drove in from Florida. I mean, I got back here a little over an hour ago, so I've been on the road all day with a van full of youngins, and we're tired. I'm tired, so I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be on for very long tonight. Um, okay. Here's the suspicious stuff. You've got a dozen bombs to high profile targets. None of them went off. In fact, the reports are saying already, and I don't think these appear to be credible reports, that the FBI labs have said that at least the majority of the bombs that they've tested so far, if not all of them, were inoperable. They were never capable of exploding, which is especially odd because apparently they did contain actual explosives in glass, and there was actually a detonator present, but apparently they were not. They were incomplete, or somehow they were somehow unable to explode. They could not have been detonated. Um, that I find that especially odd. There's been no statement that I know of from the suspect. Um, and no, I'm not saying his name. I'm just not. Uh, anyway, all of this is very suspicious. And frankly, I don't think we have enough information to make declarative statements about it. We don't have enough information to make declarative statements about who is at fault. We do know enough to make declarative statements, however, about who is not at fault. The media has been just immediately just jumping on, oh, it's Trump's rhetoric, it's Trump's violence. God, I keep hearing that, but please, somebody show me actual qualitative evidence of Trump calling for violence. You got the one time he said he'd pay somebody's legal bills if he got in a fist fight at the rally. Okay, and that was a pretty particular circumstance. I'm not even saying it was right. I'm not defending it necessarily. Personally, I don't have a problem with it, but politically, it was a bad move. But that's not the point. You can't point to the Donald actively calling for violence against anyone. The closest you can come is this ridiculous notion that he constantly calls the press the enemy of the state. That's just not the case. Show me the clip. Show me the cut. He has said some things, but the statement, the press is the enemy of the state, is one that has been attributed. He hadn't said it. He said fake news is the enemy of the people. And that's a very different thing. I'm sitting at a huge high-powered machine. Let me see if I can find Trump calls the press. Plenty of people have said that he was right to call. Yeah, even in the article about it, wrote on Twitter on Friday that the nation's news media, and then the parentheses start. The fake news media. The fake news media is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people. There you go. That's the quote. Rod, you mentioned the clip with him saying he wanted to punch some folks in the face. That was I'd have to double check the timing on that, but I think that was in response to the De Niro video where he said he wanted to punch Trump in the face, and the Biden quote where Biden said he wanted to take Trump out behind the dumpster or out on the schoolyard and beat his ass. And yes, the president condemned politically motivated violence. It's not that hard, guys. The Donald hasn't called for violence. However, we do have Maxine Waters calling for violence, and Cory Booker calling for violence, and Hillary Clinton calling for violence, and former Attorney General Eric Holder calling for violence. We do have that. Oh, and there was another one. If I can remember his name, he was the black guy. Barack Obama, who said, if they bring a knife, we bring a gun. He thought it would be adorable to break out some quotes from the Untouchables, which is all the funnier because, wow, let's just go ahead and make that. Let's just go ahead and make that hyperbolic leap and associate the Democrat Party with the untouchables trying to enforce prohibition in the midst of these guys. Hey, bring on your conspiracy for me, Mr. Adams. See what you got. I can't wait all night. I've got a viewer sitting here with bated breath. Are you typing me War and Peace? All right. Well, anyway, apparently Mr. Adams has a commentate to make. do 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 do. So, I'm sure I'll get back to your commentary in just a minute. Anyway, I do, like I said, I'm going to be short tonight, Rod. I'm tired. I want to touch on the caravan for a minute. There's a lot that can be said about the caravan, but I think principally the most important thing to really focus on is this. The caravan is moving through Mexico. They've passed through several countries that have they've left a war-torn country and passed through several countries that are not currently war-torn, that are not at war. Now, there's some argument to be made there that Mexico has the drug war going on, and that's a reasonable argument. There is a lot of violence associated with the cartel war, but that's not the same thing as an active military conflict. But the refugees have been offered, or I'm sorry, the migrants, the invaders, have been offered the asylum and jobs in Mexico, and they've refused them. They've refused to accept the asylum offer and the jobs. Eldon, I don't know. Let me finish my point, and I'll just chatter with you. Do I know you? Anyway, so Mexico has a southern border wall. They crossed it. Now they're in Mexico, who I might add has much stricter and more strictly enforced immigration laws than the United States. Now, that statement is true of literally every country with a functioning government. Every single country on the planet with a functioning government has stricter immigration laws than the US. I will add this caveat. There are several European nations who, despite their much stricter and more strictly enforced immigration laws, have taken in a great many migrants, or I'm sorry, a great many refugees. And it is an important distinction. Because the refugees are being taken under a particular status. Now, they are not legitimate refugees in most cases. Most of these people are economic migrants or, frankly, an invading horde. Now, here's the interesting thing about the ones coming in through Mexico. Because they have been offered asylum and refused it, they've been offered work and refused it in Mexico, then under Mexican law, which is the relevant law at this particular moment, because the caravan is still en route, it has not yet arrived. Under Mexican law, these people are hostile foreign invaders. They are criminal aliens. But Mexico is allowing them to pass unhindered. Right. And the clear motivation, the clear movement of this horde is that they intend to move into America. They intend to seek asylum as refugees in the United States. Now, for my money, if they had come directly from country A and applied for asylum, that would be one thing. And I would still be dubious of it because it's such a large number of people moving suddenly and clearly with outside help. I mean, I don't know if you've ever marched a bunch of soldiers across a desert. It's not cheap or easy. It certainly isn't fast. For them to be coming across Mexico toward the United States unhindered speaks to the state of the Mexican government. Now, something that a lot of Americans just don't understand. Yes, Mr. Adams, I have. I have marched troops in the desert, and it is neither cheap nor easy, and it certainly isn't fast, especially since the easy route is always mined. Them crossing without hindrance is, hi Julie. The fact that they're able to cross without hindrance is especially suspicious, given the very, very strict rules of the Mexican immigration policies. So, and apparently I have a cat down here. Okay, wait one. I'm going to have to go get rid of the cat. Yeah, so that was me, what, 8 years ago? Yeah, you shithead. Go. Go. Oh. Ooh, I cannot talk about a particular day I marched my men in particular. That would be a breach of OPSEC. So no, I won't discuss that in particular. I think I'm just about spent. I think that's about all I got for tonight, guys. I told you it was gonna be a short night. I will see y'all next week at the same time. Hopefully, I'll have the panel with me next week. And until then, remember, if you build a man a fire, you'll keep him warm for the evening. If you set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Good night.